My name is Tobias Fischer. I'm here at the Haus der Kulturen der Welt at the Transmediale Berlin with a team of CIFRA. I'm also the editor of 15 Questions, and today I will be asked a lot of questions. To me, it's an expansion of the horizon. Certainly for me, music was a way of connecting with the parts which were inaccessible by words. I really started writing and being interested in literature first, so music opened up a portal to places I couldn't reach with words alone. The first piece of music I was impressed by was probably Duran Duran's Wild Boys. And I was watching this video clip, which was actually pretty scary, and the music was actually pretty dark, and it did something to me. So I take listening very seriously, and I take my life very seriously, I think. It should be fun, of course, too, but no, when I listen to a piece of music, I usually sit down for it. I don't like background listening. I have a hard time zoning, like concentrating when I have music in the background. The most promising way of combining music with other media for me is not combining it with any other media. No video, no images, no dance, nothing. Just pure music. That would be the most exciting thing. We've had 20 or 30 years of this cross-pollination. I think now would be the time to go back to the purity of just sound. There's a few developments I can see sound art going into. So one of them is the cross-pollination between pop music and sound art. We're already seeing that in a lot of music like Arca. There are artists who use elements from pop music to create extremely experimental sound art. And the second thing I think is fashion and sound art are going to move closer together. Wearable sound as like an extension of our personality. Maybe in 10 years we won't have that term sound art anymore. Sound art was created at a time when the idea of sound as music was alien. And in 10 years a new generation will no longer think about this separation at all anymore. A world without sound is completely unimaginable. Not just to me, I think to us as human beings. There was a movie called A Quiet Place, a science fiction horror movie which has the premise that the world has been conquered by an alien species which is extremely sensible to sound. So the only way for humans to survive is to make no sound at all. If I had to choose one piece to save for humanity, I'd probably go for Philip Guston by Morton Feldman. It's 4 hours long, so there should be something in there for everyone. I grew up being fascinated by words. The further we go into sound territory, the further we get away from the words. Everything is possible with sound. So my fascination with it is just the infinity of potential that is there for creating new spaces, new worlds, new ways of thinking about the world, new ways of communication. We are really sonic beings. So it connects me to something that's deeper and maybe higher. I heard that my playlist was doing really well on CIFRA. I'm really happy about that. It's fantastic. I love the player. I love the way the integration of video and sound works. It's very close to my heart. And I think that what CIFRA does is much needed. Of course, you have platforms where like sound artists are represented, like Bandcamp, like Spotify, but something which is dedicated and curated is so important. So the curation part of it really seals the deal for me. Weirdly enough is my rediscovering metal music. For whatever reason, I find metal to be really fascinating again. Very extreme kind of metal is actually very close to sound art in a way. One of the things which was maybe sort of weird to find out was that other people share a certain sensibility for certain sounds. So this phenomenon of ASMR and very I've talked a lot about Noemi Büchi. I think her work is absolutely incredible. I think earlier you asked about the way that sound art can develop. I think her work is sort of anticipating that, which is namely the combination of Western classical music and electronic music. If you're asking me about also one of the most interesting, greatest artists, for me has always been Jean-Michel Jarre, and I think the first side of Oxygen is still unparalleled in terms of the potential of electronic music. His new work, Oxymore, is really interesting if you want to dive deeper into spatial sound. I think it's one of like a really playful work, which is absolutely fascinating because it's trying to establish rules where there are none yet.